Greetings, family, peace, love, and positive thinking. This is Guru, and thank you very much for joining my channel. Today's topic is going to be about Golden State Warriors superstar and two-time reigning MVP player Stephen Curry and his support he's showing for Colin Kaepernick, 49ers quarterback, who recently came under fire and controversy for sitting it out during the national anthem.
Do you have an opinion on Colin Kaepernick, whose jerseys are sold out now across America because people are supporting him?
I love that. I love that there's freedom of speech and he can stand for what he believes in. There's going to be people that disagree with him. There's going to be people that agree with him, which is what I think our country stands for, which would hopefully would drive the conversation to bettering the equal rights and treatment of African Americans and people of color. So I applaud him for taking a stand, and hopefully the conversation is about what his message was, and not the fact that is he going to stand or is he going to sit for the national anthem or whoever it is. The conversation be started and continue. I would also add the fact that he's putting his money where his mouth is and donating what he said $1 million to finding ways to better or to make his message a reality. I hope that all resources and conversations and intellect across the country will be able to figure out a way to make that $1 million as powerful as it can be, which is he's on the right track.
Steph Curry responding to news that Kaepernick's 49er jersey has become the hottest selling jersey in the NFL, saying, quote, "I love that. I love that there's freedom of speech and he can stand up for what he believes in," Curry said. There's going to be people that disagree with him and there's going to be people that agree with him, which is what I think our country stands for, which hopefully will drive the conversation to bettering the equal rights and treatment of African Americans and people of color. Quote, "So I applaud him for taking a stand, and hopefully the conversation is about what his message was and not is he going to stand or is he going to sit for the national anthem," he continued. The conversation is started and should continue. Family, I'm really glad that Steph Curry made that point, because it seems that white media keeps focusing primarily on that point, on his actions, on the actions of Colin Kaepernick, not his message. They keep focusing on his actions. Is he going to sit? Is he going to kneel? What's he doing today? What's his hair look like? Is he picking his nose? Is he farting? What's he doing today? It's not on the message, and that's a big problem with America. That's why we can't never move forward, because the conversation that you find uncomfortable, you never want to have. And so we keep hearing from racist folks that, oh, well, you can't change America overnight. Overnight has been hundreds of years. Come on, people, wake up. You're not that stupid, Americans. You're making it appear that way, but you cannot be that stupid. But I digress. I want to stay on point. The message is we have a lot of issues in this country that we need to deal with, Kaepernick said after the 49ers' final preseason game. Quote, "We have a lot of people that are oppressed. We have a lot of people that aren't treated equally, that aren't given equal opportunities. Police brutality is a huge thing that needs to be addressed. There are a lot of issues that need to be talked about and that need to be brought to life. We need to fix those things." And after Colin Kaepernick made those statements, this blonde bimbette, Becky with the straight hair, Becky who needs a better tan than this orange sheen she has over her face, she went on this tangent on her so-called news station. It was really her opinionated 5 minutes of fame that she was just ranting off things. And when Colin Kaepernick mentioned that he wants to bring to light about those who are oppressed, she took it as a personal vendetta against Kaepernick and talked about his privilege and how much money he makes when he wasn't even talking about himself. And this is how white media does. They pay this blonde bimbette probably a lot of money to go off on tangents that don't make any bit of sense. We caught it, Tommy Loren. You're not fooling anyone. You are Becky with the blonde hair, and you are a dummy. You are the jackass of the day. I can't give you my jackass sound right now because this story is not about you. So I digress. But you are the jackass of the day. Curry also lauded Kaepernick's plan to donate $1 million to different organizations to help these communities and help these people as part of an effort to advance his cause from protest to action. Quote, we also have the fact he's putting his money where his mouth is and donating. What he'd say? $1 million to make his message a reality, Curry said. I hope all the resources and conversations and intellect around the country to find a way to make that $1 million as powerful as it can be, which is, he's on the right track. Kaepernick also announced Wednesday that he intends to donate all proceeds he receives from the soaring sales of his number 7 jerseys, quote, back into the communities, unquote, which he is working. Kaepernick is also putting his money where his mouth is, literally. Curry isn't alone among NBA players when it comes to publicly supporting Kaepernick's protests and ongoing efforts. Milwaukee Bucks forward Jabari Parker took to Instagram on Wednesday wearing a black Kaepernick's jersey, joined by a caption reading, quote, never followed the wave, but this one is necessary. I got your back, homie, at Kaepernick7, unquote. Now that a former number 2 overall draft pick and the 2-time reigning MVP have spoken out in support of Kaepernick's protests, it ought to be very interesting to see whether and how many of their fellow NBA players publicly follow suit. Family, this is a serious point, though, that I want to make. And that's the problem. I think more NBA players should follow suit. I think more NFL players should follow suit. I think more soccer players even should follow suit, like the one that supported Kaepernick. I think the majority of, not all, people of color, and I'm talking about African Americans, I'm talking about Mexican Americans, Asian Americans, Indian Americans, if you are a person of color, I think you should lend your support if you really care about life. This is about black lives in particular, and you all are seeing how our lives are being expendable by the police. To me, it kind of shows the weakness of black men when you have a white woman who shows her support openly with no issues for Colin Kaepernick during the national anthem. She has more balls than most black men. I can't tell you how sick I am of these so-called African American men, so-called men like Jerry Rice, the Charles Barkleys, these coons who keep coming forward speaking out against Colin Kaepernick. You folks are the worst thing that could happen to black people, to the black culture, because it's people like you who keep holding us back as a whole, because you take an opposite stance. You folks are the ones who have white spouses, so you're 9 times out of 10 are sleeping with them, and so you have absolutely nothing to lose. And besides that, you have a different outlook than most African Americans. And then the major problem is that white media puts that microphone in front of your face all the time because they know that you are a coon. And this woman has more balls than most black men, even in sports today. And that's a shame. If black men knew the power that you had, if you just put it together as a unity, as a united force, Colin Kaepernick's stand would actually mean something. The world would take notice, and we would actually get results. But it's because of you coons. It's because of you coons who, again, are sleeping with white people. You're sleeping with white people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you guys are the ones that's holding the rest of us back because the media gives you a platform, and they put you on their major stations, Fox News, like the David Clarks, that so-called sheriff that always talks bad and negative about the black community. They constantly put him on their platform. You have to understand this is all by design, and they're just using him because once they get tired of him, he's gonna be an afterthought, and he's gonna wonder how come they don't have me on his show anymore. He's stupid. And a lot of you black men who are not showing your support for a cause, and listen to this. Family, black people, how could you not show your support? It's about your life. This has to do with your life. If not yours, your kid's life, or your cousin's life, your family's life. I don't understand black people in America. You are the most brainwashed people and damaged people on the planet that I know. Africans in Africa don't have the opportunities and resources that we have at our disposal, but yet they seem to keep their culture and integrity together. I don't know. I just don't understand. African Americans are a total new breed of animal. And I'm just trying to understand, and I'm trying to have patience. There's many of us who are actually trying out here. But it is disheartening when we have to fight white supremacists who happen to have black faces. I want to believe in a strong black man. I want to believe in a strong black race. But you guys have to do better. We have to do better. We really need to show our solidarity. If all of you athletes just took a stance, we would get someplace. And if you think this is against the military, you're so stupid. This is what you want to believe. You just want to have a reason to be against this idea. This graph reminds me of the O.J. Simpson verdict. I hate to bring that into this discussion, but it just reminds me of it because it just goes to show you how black and white people think differently. Yet they want to try to claim that we're all alike, but yet we think so far differently about issues. And in this issue, there's one point that I want to bring out that it seems like white people, or Europeans in particular, want to run from. Police brutality is a huge thing that needs to be addressed. Do you realize that with all the discussions that we've been having, that this point and this point alone is what gets brushed under the rug? It gets swept under the rug so fast. White people, white Americans especially, never want to discuss the issue of police brutality. The reason why is because they understand that it's an oppressive force. They don't want to deal with the realities of it because they know exactly what police brutality is about and what it's doing and how it's affecting the black community. They want to throw every excuse up there in the world about what we're doing and about black on black crime. And while I'm hitting that subject, let me say this. The police are to be held to a higher standard. When you wear a badge and when you wear that blue uniform, you're supposed to be held to a higher standard. For the police to be able to get away with murder out in the streets without bringing any of these charges into a courtroom in front of a judge, that means that the police are giving way too much power, and this needs to be addressed. Police brutality is a huge thing that needs to be addressed. If I don't make any other important point in this video, this point alone, white supremacists, you need to address this issue. It's the issue that is plaguing our nation. This is the main issue, and this is what Colin Kaepernick's protest is really about. You know it, I know it. Stop deflecting. Black on black crime is a problem, but so is white on white crime, but you never discuss that. Black on black crime is a problem. It is. And we do need to do better, but we expect for the police to protect and serve us in our communities, and that's not what they're doing. So black on black crime continues unchecked because we have police brutality. Are you not connecting the dots? This is Guru, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your time. Peace, love, and positive thinking. I'm out.